And how long has my uncle been
Since the beginning. Lord Byron was the first person I turned to after forming the Guardians, and had I known of this tunnel back then, I wouldn't almost have been hanged by the city guard for trying to sneak over the wall.
I suppose a formal request for an audience would have appeared suspicious.
And appearances must be maintained. Were the Vice-Regency to catch wind of Lord Byron's involvement in our movement, they'd seize his estate and send him to the Gap, where he would be of no use to anyone. And so, though it sickens him to the soul, he plays the part of the loyal lord, knowing that one wrong move might prove his downfall. It is why he remains ever vigilant. Don't be surprised if he refuses you an audience, especially since you're famously dead.
Then I will have to think of a way to prove that I am neither wraith nor wrongdoer.
I might have something which could help with the latter. It's the mark of the Guardians. Display it, and those who love Rosaria will know where your loyalties lie.
I shall wear it with pride.
Be sure that you do. I don't want my men attacking you again. Unless you deserve it. If only Sir Tyler could have been here to see you. Or the Lord Commander.
Thank you, Sir Wade. If there is ever anything you need.
I know. Go on now, my lord.
How accommodating. Do you really think they believe we are who we say we are?
Not a chance. Right, I guess. My uncle believes we're imposters here to rob him. And means to string us up himself.
Imagine my surprise when I was told my nephew had come to visit. Clive Rosfield died long ago. And for uttering his name here, you shall pay with your tongue! You would mock me as well?
It is I, Sir Crandall of Camelot, loyal servant to Her Serene Holiness, Saint Sybil the Unshod. Meadow, thou vile sorcerer, for thy crimes against church and crown, I shall have thy head.
Curse thee, infectious flax wench. Even in death, must thou plague me still? Very well. I shall open the gates of hell, that thou might see thy charge once more.
Bravo, Uncle. You're still the finest Meadow in the twins.
Oh, Clive, my dear boy, it's really you. You always always were fond of that scene from The Saint and the Sanctuary. Never did let me play Sir Crandall.
I have a favor to ask, Uncle Byron.
Rutherford, inform the kitchens. There'll be guests. We dine immediately.
But, Uncle...
You can't very well regale me with the tale of your miraculous preservation on an empty stomach. Go on, sit. See that you use the good plates, Rutherford. So you arrived late to one of her cullings, did you? Since becoming Vicereine, Annabella has been a constant thorn in Rosaria's side, but these atrocities are a new low. Something has changed. Quite what, I don't know, but the woman we knew is gone, and a monster sits in her place.
A monster.
For better or worse, I've been charged with governing this town, and thus must maintain the illusion of obedience. That's all I can do to aid Wade and his merry band of revolutionaries.
So he's told us. You have risked much for Rosaria. Our nation will be forever in your debt.
It has been 20 years, Clive. The nation your father and your forefathers fought to defend is no more. Perhaps it would be otherwise had I the courage of my brother. All right, if it's a ship you require, a ship you shall have. I've a galley in port, but recently relieved of her cargo. She can be outfitted for the voyage in a matter of weeks.
So you believe us, then? About everything?
Believe you? Ha! Only a fool would believe even half of the things you claim. But until tonight, only a fool would have believed my nephew still lived. And besides, I have it on good authority that Clive is telling the truth.
Whose authority?
Your own, of course. You've always been a terrible liar.
Is that true?
It's not untrue.
Let's say no more about it, eh? It wouldn't do to linger on my nephew's greatest failing. The one thing I cannot believe, though, is all this about you being Sid. You were always such a good boy, but now you're quite the outlaw. Which, if I'm not mistaken, would make me an outlaw's uncle. Right then, who shall we pillage first? Rutherford, fetch me my cutlass. This will be fun.
Over there. Go on.
She's a fine ship, isn't she?
Once outfitted, she'll bear us across the boiling sea to Drustinus in the space of 3 days.
Something on your mind?
Monsters. When I served the Iron Kingdom, I did so because I saw no other choice. Because once they learned that Lash would not move me, they turned it on those who could. so I became their puppet. I let them pull my strings, telling myself it was not my hand that swung the sword, but another's. I removed myself from the truth so I wouldn't feel the pain it caused. And before I knew it, I no longer felt anything. Anything at all. I had become a monster.
Jill.
I don't want to be a monster, Clive. Do you understand? I want to choose a different path, a better path. To live on my own terms. But before I can do that, I need to come to terms with my past.
And when you do, I'll be standing there with you, just as you stood with me.
Thank you, Clive. I must atone for my sins. Only then, when it's done, will the monster cease to be.
Just promise me that you won't die with it. Now, let's get some sleep. The journey back to Benamir is long, and there is much to tell the others.
Only the Founder knows what awaits us in the Iron Kingdom. But Vivian could probably make an educated guess. I didn't take you for a scholarly van.
Oh, this? Well, it's Valisthea, a culinary pilgrimage. I borrowed it from old tomes. Seems there's no creature in the realm so foul it can't be cooked up into something delicious.
Think I'll...
Oh, where's your sense of adventure, Sid? Honestly, one glance at these recipes, and even you would trade in your sword for a butcher's cleaver. From spit roasts to sweetmeats, this book has them all. What I wouldn't give to bring these recipes to life.
If it's my blessing you're hoping for, then by all means.
Well, I'm no hunter, Sid. The first tunnel worm I came across would be the death of me. But you're made of sterner stuff. Would you help me resurrect one of these recipes?
Something tells me you won't be taking no for an answer. Fine, I'll help.
Fantastic! Thank you.
So, dare I ask what's on the menu?
Chance's Stew. It was once a favourite among the gourmands of Oriflamme, if the author is to be believed. Though Molly's never heard of it. The only problem is that while the recipe is extremely detailed in most respects, it's infuriatingly cryptic as to the main ingredient. A beast, no doubt. Most likely something that would make easy work of a simple cook with more broth than brawn, but unwanted violets. I've no idea what they might be.
Does the book say anything else?
Well, only that the sweetest violets sprout atop the bed of roses.
Roses. Rosaria, perhaps? One of the butchers in Martha's Rest might know something. I'll ask next time I'm there.
joining the fight.
How did we never
There are
hear?
new billets being posted every day.
Clive! Oh, am I glad?
Is something wrong?
It's Blackthorn. He ain't himself. And if I'm honest, he ain't been for a while. Yet normally it only takes a couple of drinks to perk him back up, but not this time. Something's getting him down. And whatever it's like he's lost his spark, you know? He's barely got enough fire in his belly to get the ump about stuff. But I'm thinking he might if we both bent his ear, because he respects you, innit?
Fine. If you think it will help.
I knew you'd understand.
But if he doesn't want to talk, we let him be. He'll open up when he's ready.
All right. Now, he'll only smell a rat if we both turn up at once. So, I'll go first, and you can meet us at the forge. Wait a bit, then head over when you're ready.
Thank you for sticking with us.
Those of us who are still here have to look after each other, don't we? So,
Ah, welcome. Times may be hard, but if you got the gill, I got the goods.
Unwanted violets. If you have them.
Why, I haven't heard folk call them that since you're looking for scorpion tails. Unwanted violets is what folk used to call them back in the day. They turn a wicked perp used to chuck them in the pot when there weren't nothing else on offer. When there was a war on, that sort of thing. And even if they were, you wouldn't find...
Do the scorpions...
I dare say they do. 3 reeds would be your best bet.
Thank you. You've been most helpful.
It'll take ages to tidy all of this stuff up.
Stay sharp.
After what the Empire did to Martha.
Don't you go causing any trouble now.
Scorpions. At least I know what I'm up against.
Over here! Ah! This one. Awaken! Go for it!
I better get this back to Yvonne before it goes bad.
Did you find...
I did indeed.
Marvellous! Let's see.
You wouldn't be wrong.
Into the pot it goes, I suppose. I present Chance's Stew, risen once again from the ashes of obscurity. Grab a spoon, Sid.
I'm, not hungry.
Well, it'll be too late once I've licked the bowl clean. Your loss. Odin's teeth. What the salt on the senses is like, and yet, it takes a moment to recover from such an onslaught of flavours, but never have I. I must share this gift. I won't rest until a steaming bowl of Chance's stew sits before everyone in the hideaway. A single mouthful, and Molly will be breeding scorpions of her own.
I'm sure she will.
That monster's taken quite a liking to Lady Karen.
First, what's it got to do with me?
August was worried that something had been weighing on your mind. I thought you might want to talk about it.
I told you not to stick your nut.
Clive just wants to help, innit? Talk to him. Please, mate.
Phil, shut. It's nothing. Not the sort of thing you bother people about.
Why don't you tell us all the same?
Karen and I have an arrangement. I keep an eye on Goots, and she shows me what the competition's up to. Interesting arms and armor, things like that. Anyway, the other day, she shows me a cuirass she's come by. Masterpiece of level work. Light, supple, and tougher than it had any right to be. Made my stuff look like heavy. I should have brought the bastard thing there and then just to study it, but I was too proud. And now every time I read there, you got what you came for.
All right. I always thought of old Blackthorn as a bit of a force of nature. Like a storm cloud full of ale. Didn't think anything could rattle him. Least of all us.
Blackthorn's always taken pride in his craft. Questioning it means questioning. Something tells me this is only going to get worse. If he has doubts, it will affect his work, which will only add to his problems.
I couldn't agree more.
He said he should have bought that cuirass. Assuming you're happy to help, that is.
Too bloody right I am.
Glad to hear it. First things first. Karen, Blackthorn mentioned that you'd recently come by a leather...
And he ain't been himself since he saw it.
Sorry, sold it already. Didn't think Blackthorn cared for it the way he turned his nose, but it was nicely put together, that's for certain. Even if the bloke who made it is a bit of an odd one. Makes all his stuff to order, but the fella who commissioned it refused to pay. He didn't like the colour of summit, so I took it off his hands for a fair price.
You don't know where we might find him, do you?
Like I said, he's a bit of an odd one. He doesn't trust hunters neither, which means he spends as much time out tracking beasties as he does.
I see.
He did tell me something, though. Apparently, his next commission's for a set of griffin hide greaves.
Here, there's a griffin on the hunt board. The curse breakers were placing bets on who'd bag it. Now, where the bleeding hell was it sighted? Somewhere...
Thank you, Karen. We'd be lost without you.
At least you admit it.
So, It sounds like going after that griffin might be the best chance.
I'll leave the hunting to you if you don't mind. While you get on with that, I'll ask around the markets. See if I can't sniff out who he is and where he's...
Good idea.
I could have sworn we had a few more. Typical nobles.
How did we never hear about these guardians of the...
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back so soon. Your benefactors are a generous lot. All yours. Best of luck out there, Sid.
There's talk that the glass gate flooded.
Citizens are free to come and go as they please. Checkpoint's open to all.
Not many travellers heading north these days. What with the fields barren and the Penitent's Gate closed.
It's the same as the one back at the hideaway. Doesn't seem to be working, though. I don't think so.
Good day to you.
The crystals we get from the tailor all but
Get him!
Over here! Go to him! Sick him! Go to him!
Griffins don't exactly make for easy prey. Let's hope our craftsman hasn't bitten off more than he can chew. Is something there, boy? Could that be our man? Are you all right?
That griffin caught me before I could get an arrow off. Must have lost sight of me.
More likely than not.
The name's Camille.
Not so lowly from what I hear. Do you remember selling to a merchant by the name?
She's not any. Bought a cuirass from me after I lost my buyer. Quite taken with my work, as didn't stop her bartering me down to a pittance. She sent you for a refund?
It's not her who sent me.
Well, consider me flattered.
You should be. He's a master of his art.
Blacksmiths are proud folk. It's a rare thing indeed for one to praise a glorified tanner. And I don't imagine an impressive swordsman like yourself would be getting your steel from any but the best. I'd dearly love to help a fellow. Actually...
What is it?
Treated leather. Same stuff I used to make that cuirass. If your man's as skilled as he sounds, he'll know what he's looking at.
You sure?
Well, you did save my life. And thanks to you, I'll be going home with all the griffin hide I can carry. Short of showing him how to make the thing myself, that is.
In that case, I'll see that he gets it.
I'd be much obliged if you would. Right. I've got some greaves to make. You send your blacksmith my regards.
Will do. And thank you. Hopefully this will sweeten Blackthorn's mood.